The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? We'll start in about 1 minute. Feel free to ask any questions prior if you'd like. I do want to mention that this session will be recorded, so keep that in mind. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. We also have a chat, so feel free to put anything in there if you'd like. Okay, I'm going to unmute you all for just a second. All right. Can you go ahead and let me know if you are seeing the screen that I have put up here? Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great.
And I can tell you can hear me as well. Can you see the screen? I'm sorry, I think I lost you. All right, I see a hand up. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so it's 4 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, this is being recorded for those that could not make it this evening. Thank you so much for taking time out and attending. So I basically wanted to have a moment to go over the new changes that have taken place with the half-credit graduation course. There's a few things that have gone into regulation that we want to talk about, so that's why I decided to have this, so I'm glad you joined us. Again, my name is Cindy Chang, and I am the Programs Professional over Computer Science here at the Nevada Department of Education. My information is up there on the screen, so please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm here on this journey with you, and I'm here to support you with whatever your needs are in your districts, in your classroom, wherever it is. Okay, so let's get a little too fast there. All right, so here's the outline of things that we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Senate Bill 200, the deadlines that relate specifically to this course. We're going to talk about Regulation R078-18, which passed, effective date versus implementation date. We're going to talk about middle school. You know, there's this little gray area right there as we make this transition. We're going to discuss the guidance document that's surrounding this half-credit computer science course, talk about the EdTech standards revision that's going on currently, and then offer a suggested computer science course pathway, because I have been asked about that on more than one occasion, and then some other related computer science information. Okay, and please feel free, if you have any questions, just reach out and just unmute yourself and go ahead and ask, and then we'll go from there. All right, so points of the bill, Senate Bill 200. This is just an overview of some of the points, the 7 major points of the bill that were changed. This is the one that we're going to focus on in this webinar, the high school computer tech grad requirement. And that became effective July 1st of 2018, so this year. Okay, so Regulation R078-18. So with the bill, it had certain requirements in there, and then it was up to us at the department to make sure that we put into regulation these changes and make sure that they are all included. So one of those was that the bill prescribed that in our half-credit graduation course that in some districts is called digital literacy, some is called computer applications, computer literacy, all different kinds of names. In regulation, on the list of required courses for graduation is referred to as use of computers. And so the bill prescribed that we include a certain percentage of computer science and computational thinking in this half-credit course. And that was to be decided upon by the computer science subcommittee, which was also a requirement of the bill. So the subcommittee deliberated and decided that 50% at least of computer science and computational thinking would be included in this former use of computers course. R078-18 also updated the name of the subject area to better coincide with the bill. And so they changed the name to Computer Education and Technology. So it's no longer use of computers on that list of subject matter. This regulation was passed by the State Board on August 30th, and then the Legislative Commission agreed, passed it on September 27th. So then at that point it was codified into law. What R078-18 does is it amends the NAC 389.450, which is that list of required courses for graduation, 389.663 for the advanced diploma, 664 for the standard diploma, and 688 for the adult standard diploma. Okay. So here's what that looks like. So we have the computer education and technology. I like to look at it as a tree. So that's the top of the tree and then the branches down below. We've always had the K-12 technology standards that were built off the ISTE standards. And then now we have, as of last year, or this year, the K-12 computer science standards that were built off the national CSTA standards. So together these two form this subject area. So per Senate Bill 200, these changes became effective currently in July 1st. But the districts are given 2018-2019 school year to get the courses aligned. So most districts and a lot of the charter schools are renaming the course offering to computer science and applications to provide clarity as to the content that's being involved or being taught in there. So this updated course should be in place for the 2019-2020 school year. So you have this year to get it all organized and add the computer science computational thinking into that already existing course, and then begin implementation next year. So therefore, the graduating class of 2023, so those are our next year's incoming high schoolers, freshmen, would be the first class coming through under these new requirements. Okay? So, that's great. The big question is, what about these middle schools that have been offering this high school requirement in the past? So what about the current 6th graders, the class of 2024, 7th graders, class of 2025, or the 8th graders, class of 2026? I think I've got those in reverse. Actually, 6th graders are 2026, 7th, and so forth. So they may have taken the former computer applications or digital literacy course in middle school. So are they exempt from this requirement once they get into high school? And the answer is no. They are not exempt, but here are some options to help get them back on track. So middle school that may have offered the former course in 6th grade up through this year, maybe they choose now to offer the updated course, Computer Science and Applications, in 8th grade. So then they'll catch all of the students again, prior to entering high school. So that's one option. Another one may be their feeder high school already offers it, so the students can then take it then in freshman year. Or a third option, I'm working on another kind of out-of-the-box idea, but I'm waiting for official approval from leadership. But I'll go ahead and tell you what my thought is, and then maybe you can tell me what you think about it. Notice in red, it's my out-of-the-box option. Just thinking out loud, still has to be approved. But if a student from either the class of 24, 25, or 26, our middle schoolers, has already taken digital literacy and the computer apps course in middle school, so they've already had the experience with technology, curriculum, keyboarding, applications, and so forth, then my thought is that they could satisfy the computer science portion, the graduation requirement, by taking a computer science course in high school, such as CS Principles, during their freshman year. So this would provide them with the computer science and the computational tools, but then also make them successful for graduation, and it would meet that requirement of receiving that instruction. Now, it is, again, my out-of-the-box thinking, has not been approved through the chain of command. But even if it is, I am in no way suggesting that the computer science principles course can replace that half-credit course. Okay? This is just for this interim gap with these middle school students that have already taken the technology course in the past and kind of missed the cutoff, if you will, for the new standards. So it's kind of bridging that gap in the middle. Okay, so I don't want the message to get out. Oh, Cindy said that you can count CS Principles for that half credit course. No, absolutely not. But I will talk to you about that half credit course and what that will entail. So the Computer Science Subcommittee has come up with a guidance document. It's coming through the Department of Ed for this half credit course. Let me go ahead and click on here, and I'll talk about that very briefly. So this guidance document, you also have it linked here in this webinar, so it's in your handout section. And basically what we've done is we have taken a subset. It goes into the background of the bill and everything to give folks an understanding of where this is all coming from. But what it does is it takes a subset of the computer science and computational thinking concepts, and then a subset of the technology concepts, and puts them all together. So if you are creating a course to satisfy this half credit, then you want to use the subset of standards in this guidance document to inform the build out of that course, because then you know that you're covering the 50-50. I have heard where there's some courses out there that have been in the past counting for that half credit course that have nothing to do with the subject matter at all. So this will help bring uniformity to that course throughout the state and really give the students the meat that they need for this subject matter. Okay. I have a little caveat there. The technology standards that are in there are based off of our 2010 technology standards, because that's all we currently have on the books. However, we do have a revision in the process right now of those standards. We've had a meeting with the writing teams last week, and they are well on their way, and there's some exciting things happening. But I will say that they, again, like we build off of the national standards, ISTE has updated their national standards. You can go out to their website. 2016 is the current standard update that they have for students. And so you can see that ours will be primarily based off of that as well, just to give you a point of reference. Okay, so I already said that. So if it must be built off of this subset of standards in order to be approved and recognized. Okay, so the technology standards that we are revising right now, because of the legislative session starting up soon, it's going to push us back a little bit on our timing because we need to go through many different steps. It needs to go through many different councils for approval. One of them is the Legislative Commission on Education, and most of those folks are actively participating in the legislation. So we anticipate the new standards being available fall of 2019, if not a little bit later. But what will happen is these technology standards, updated technology standards, and our computer science standards, again, the branches of the tree, will come together in one document and be recognized as the Nevada Academic Content Standards for Computer Science and Integrated Technology. Okay, so that's what will be happening there. All right, are there any questions before I go any further on any of that? I know I've given you a lot of information all at one time. Feel free to unmute your mic and let me know if you do have any questions. Again, you are also welcome to type into the chat, and I will try and monitor that. All right, seeing no questions, I'll continue then. So next we have a sample pathway. I get this question all the time. Where does computer science fit in anything? What does it look like? How could this work? This is just a sample. It's just just an option that districts can do. But we have our computer science standards that are broken down, like I mentioned, by grade level. Our ed tech standards are still grade band currently, so I have them posted in there as well. A lot of our districts, districts have the half credit course placed at 6th grade. So I do have that posted in there, noting the name change, computer science and applications. And then they may choose at middle school to do CS discoveries or some equivalent of that. And then in their freshman year, computer science principles, which would also, if they offered that, would also satisfy that needing a computer science course by 2022. So you kind of cover both things there. And then if students decide they like it and want to continue on, then the CTE computer science pathway is an offering that a school could give. Okay. I can tell you that the writing team for the ed tech standard updates are leaning more towards alignment with the computer science standards, and the fact that there will be technology standards at each grade level for elementary as well. We're really trying to find ways to help those elementary teachers as they teach all the subject areas. All right, so just an update on funding. So all the funding has, for this final year in the biennium, has been sent out available to the districts. 9 districts were funded and 7 charters. Last year, even with the late start that we got, we spent 91% of our allocation, which is phenomenal. It was just wonderful. So I know we can do 100% this year. I am actually working on trying to get continued funding. So it really looks good if I can say that we have spent pretty much all that we were given. Okay. So whenever you talk about making changes to courses and such, the next question always comes up: licensing. How do I get proper endorsements for my teachers? What do my teachers need to teach this course, and so forth and so on? So I do want to let you know that the licensing changes are in their final phase. I should know exactly where they are at this point in about a week or so. But there are 2 main points of changes to the endorsements. So we have a tiered approach going on. There's a lower endorsement and a higher endorsement. The lower endorsement has a real super long name. Wasn't my choice. But the higher endorsement is called Advanced Computer Science. So the tiered approach I'm talking about is both endorsements have 2 foundational courses that are required for both of them. They are the same course, so they build upon each other. The lower endorsement then adds 1 more course, and the higher endorsement adds 2 more courses to that. If you need to have detailed description of that, I have a link on there. This slide will be available to you after. So here's kind of what this looks like. So for the lower endorsement, see there's the long name is computer science, computer education technology, and computational thinking, something like that. But it's 9 credits. You need a methods to teach computer science concepts, and a methods to teach applications. So in the past, when teachers were to teach the half-credit course, they had to take a course on productivity tools. So they went in, they took a course on how to learn Word and how to learn Excel and PowerPoint. But then when you got into a classroom, a lot of what I saw was the students were working out of packets. So here's your Word packet. You done with that? Okay, here's the next one. Here's Excel. So what the change that I was hoping to see is that this Methods to Teach Applications course would help teachers understand how these are all connected. So perhaps you're learning how to, in a project-based learning setting, set the stage for students to understand how all of these components work together. So maybe you are running an amusement park in the classroom, and you need documents in Word, you need to keep track of your employees in Excel, and you get the idea. So that change, slight as it is, will help to, I think, increase the rigor and the effectiveness in the classroom for the students. And then you'll notice in the next one, 391, 196, this endorsement is needed to teach the CTE pathway. So the lower one would be for new teachers coming in, never taught the half-credit graduation course before. They would need the lower one. If a teacher is going on to teach the CTE pathway in high school, then they need the higher endorsement. And you can see that it takes the methods to teach computer science and the CS concepts as the foundation again. So if the teacher's already had it, they don't need to take it again. And then it just adds 2 more, Java programming and then another additional programming language. The reason Java was chosen is because that's the third level of the CTE pathway. And so the teachers need to have some experience with that. Or, and this is added, this is something new, in lieu of taking those 12 credits, if they successfully pass the praxis exam for computer science, then they would receive that advanced computer science endorsement. So this is new. So the question is always asked, well, what can my teachers teach if they have these endorsements? And I might just say that this is added on to an already existing teaching license. So in elementary, teachers teach everything, whether the students go to outside technology class or whether it's integrated inside the elementary classroom, no change to license. However, training is recommended. So like Computer Science Fundamentals is a 1-day workshop that RPDP puts on and does a fantastic job with it. So that would be recommended. Now, also, we have the computer literacy now prior to 6th grade. That was in the bill. If they're going to be teaching that, again, no change to license. Now, when we get to middle school, we're talking about this computer science and applications course. If you have a teacher who's already been teaching it, they're currently licensed with computer applications or whatever the license was, endorsement was called before, there is no additional There's no additional endorsement required. They do not have to get certified. However, training is definitely recommended, especially if they are not comfortable with infusing computer science into their coursework. So CS Discoveries is being offered, and there are a lot of other courses out there that could help with the computer science. Now, if they are new teachers, never taught this before, then they are going to be required to get that lower endorsement. That will give them a foundation of computer science. They understand computer science concepts, and then it will also help them with the applications productivity tools piece. If CS is embedded into science and math courses in middle school. You already have science and math licensed teacher, then no additional endorsement is required, but training is recommended. And if you've got a teacher who in middle school is only teaching CS discoveries, only, nothing else, no robotics, no web programming, whatever other enrichment courses the middle school offers. So if they're only teaching CS discoveries, then they need to go through the training. There's a week-long training that RPDP does during the summer, and then there are follow-up quarterly meetings that they do. Once they complete that, you get a certificate showing you completed, upload that to to Opal, our online licensing program, and then it shows that you have been successfully trained to teach that course. That is also the same, scroll down here a little bit, with the AP Computer Science Principles course. If a teacher in high school is only teaching that course and they've gone through the proper trainings, certificate uploaded to Opal, etc., then they may teach that course only. However, if a high school administrator comes to you and says, now I would like you to continue on and teach the pathway, it's been so successful, students are really interested, they want to continue on, then they will need to get that advanced computer science endorsement in order to continue, because again, that Java and everything is included. All right, let me back up to middle school here a little bit. If teachers are going to be teaching other courses, like I mentioned, robotics, web programming, etc., then they should get the full endorsement to teach, the lower endorsement to teach that. Okay. All right, and then you can see there are other situations with different forms of licenses, business and industry, and so forth. All right, so hopefully that will be helpful, clear up some of the ambiguity that I have heard so far. Okay, I already mentioned these exceptions. All right, and if you've already been teaching it, I already said no, you do not need to get relicensed. However, PD is recommended and encouraged. Where do I get the PD from? All right, so we've got trainings and courses. RPDP, like I said, is doing an amazing job training our teachers with the CS fundamentals, CS discoveries, and CS principles. The contacts that I have are Jared down here in the south, Connie in the northeast, and Jackie up in the north. They are also offering credit through UNLV, so they are working with them on the methods to teach computer science course. Actually, I think they're doing all of the courses in the two endorsement requirements, so they're on varying levels. So I'm not even going to begin to say when those start and stop, so please connect with one of those folks. Also, Toro University, Nevada is offering an online program with those courses, and I think they're adding one more, a 6th course. Let me bring that up here really quick. Practical application of computer science across disciplines. So how does computer science connect and integrate across all subject areas? Okay. Any questions up to this point? I think we're doing good so far. Okay, so resources. I want to tell you about this amazing resource that is out there for your teachers. RPDP in collaboration with the Nye County Consortium, so you can see the folks in the different districts listed there. So Nye, Story, White Pine, Lincoln, Churchill, and Pershing work together on creating this online teacher training portal as a resource for our Nevada educators to begin to unwrap the new K-12 computer science standards. They drill down deep, they give you resources, and really, really support the teachers on this journey of understanding. So they're based on the fundamental concepts. There's about 15 hours of instruction available. You go through the modules, you receive a certificate after each module that you're able to then show your administrator and and so forth. So it's fantastic. So I want to make sure that you know about that. Also, we have a brand new Computer Science State Strategic Plan. Our Computer Science Subcommittee put this together, and it walks you through the bigger picture of what the state has in mind moving forward. And so it'll be a great resource for you, especially in your districts or your charters as you're trying to build out your own strategic plan. It may be helpful to take a look at this and to see what the state as a whole is looking at, and then help you get in alignment and give you ideas too on what you can do in your districts. Also, there's the Computer Science Status Report that is out on the department's website. I also have a link here, and basically says everything that we have done in this past year or so of development of all of these initiatives. We have been busy. I will say that for sure. The STEM Hub website, again, is a real good portal. I update things constantly. I am open to receiving content that I can put up there. If there are events happening in your district or the state, you know what's going on, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to advertise that for you. Let your folks know in your district about this. Have them go on. Have your teachers, your administrators, your industry partners go on. Fill out a real quick thing with your email and name, and get on that mailing list so that we can get the information out to you. I send out about these trainings, these webinars, so there's a lot of information available for them as we go forward. Computer Science Teachers Association, we have a new chapter in our state, Silver State chapter. We have a new president, Colleen Chataway, and then our past president is Roger Mail. Free membership to all educators at all levels, elementary, middle, and high, administrators, just everyone. There's resources, there's mentoring, they have regular meetings. It would be great to support your teachers this way. And then just some quick resources for different grade levels. As you start to build out this half credit course, infusing the 50% of computer science and computational thinking, perhaps some of these resources will be good for you. Obviously these are for elementary, but there are some that are for the higher grades as well. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have, short and sweet, bite-sized like I said. Are there any questions that I did not address in what I presented to you? Anything that I can clear up for you, ambiguity or so forth? I'm going to unmute all of you, so please feel free to go ahead and let me know what you have as far as questions. Anybody have any questions or any comments? I'll take that as well. How's it going out there? How are things going in your districts? Is the word getting down to everyone? How can I support you?
Cindy,
Uh-huh.
this is Kirsten. I just wanted to say thank you for this. It was a very nice, concise repeat of information that has been scattered, but it's all in one place, and it was a very nice flow. Thank you for that. And as you know, Jackie McCune is in our camp here in the Northwest RPDP, and she is about to become very busy, and so I appreciate the support and information that you have been providing to her and Rob Ma up here as well. So thank you for the communication. I appreciate that very much.
You're welcome, Kirsten. Communication is really key to me. I mean, we can't move forward as a state with all of these changes that have come through the legislature unless we can get that communication down to the folks that really need it. So I appreciate that. Jackie and Rob are awesome. Your guys are in good hands.
Yay!
Yes. Anyone else? How are we doing in the rest of the state? Anything I can help you with? Do you feel like when you talk to your colleagues, if we've got some teachers here on the line, that they have this information as well, that your administrators are fully informed? Is there a way that I can help make sure that that happens if that's not the case? All right. Well, it sounds like everyone is doing great, and you have the information that you needed. I really appreciate you taking some time out. I kept you for just a little over half an hour, so I'm going to release you for the rest of the night. But again, thank you so much, and please reach out to me if you need anything. But I thank you for joining me. And that's my little grandbaby. She's just turned 3 months old. Anyway, so I appreciate your time, and please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you in the coming future. And I'd be happy to present a webinar to your districts with your administrators at your school, whatever you need. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All right. Thank you so much, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.